Hey everyone, welcome back to Transport Fever 2. My name's King Big Dip. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to get right on into mission number 2 of chapter 1 of the campaign. I've really loved this game so far. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Make sure you leave a like if you are, but let's head on in. This is Coffee and Colonialism, the island of Java, a tropical jewel in the midst of the Indian Ocean, conscientiously administrated by meticulous Dutch bureaucracy. The year is 1870 and the colony is undergoing a transformation. Recently, individuals have been allowed to lease farmland and manage plantations. The fertile land offers ideal conditions for exporting a multitude of colonial goods. This is over here on the island of Java. So let's go ahead and get right on in. The Dutch East Indies. Beautiful islands. Surely the most exemplary colonial empire under the sun. With luscious fruits and cheap labor in abundance. You act on behalf of the colonial administration. Okay. A gifted talent in the art of engineering, you have been appointed to modernize the local transport sector. Ooh. Complete this task to the satisfaction of the crown. If you do, even the post as governor might be in store for you. In store for you. Alright, prosperous plantations. Transport is a much sought after service on the scarcely civilized island. Eating draft animals such as oxen is punishable by law. That's why the colonial administration has commissioned you to build a railroad so that the plantation business prospers. The delicious coffee is supposed to be transported from the fertile hinterlands to the facility near town for processing. Anyone set on building wisely and cheaply avoids unnecessary slopes. Perform the necessary surveying work. Activate the contour lines overlay in order to be able to better estimate how the terrain is laid out for building tracks and roads. Okay, so we want to go in here and we want to turn on the contour lines. Okay, build a route from the thriving plantation across treacherous terrain to the processing factory where the coffee fruit is husked. Build a cargo station in the highlighted area next to the factory and complete the tracks coffee plantation. Okay, so we want to go in here. This is the rail menu, and we want to go into the buildings. We want to select a cargo station. I believe we want to do a cargo terminus station. There's no real reason for us to build just a regular cargo station because we're not going to be moving parallel to the road. We will be moving perpendicular to the roads. Therefore, we want a nice little station to plop down here. All right, now I want to complete the tracks. I'm going to go to the tracks menu, and with the contour lines turned on currently, you can see that we've built into the ground a little bit with this station. So what we want to do is we want to make this level as we build slightly up into this terrain. We want to follow the lines to not go down too much or up too much. So we want to follow these contour lines nicely, like so. And just head on over to meet up to those tracks down the way. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. Nice. Follow the land nicely. We avoid too low of an area and we don't go up too much either, so we don't overspend. You know, we do have to go up a little bit here from the train station because we built that into the ground a bit, but you know what? I'm okay with that. All right, building and connecting a depot. A depot is needed. Build a depot in the highlighted area. I guess that's still in this area over here. And connect it to the tracks. In this case, I want to build it kind of here to avoid this low spot. So it'll just help me spend a little bit less money. So in this case, I'm going to point it towards the coffee. Coffee beans are over there. So I think I want to point it that direction. Kind of in the low spot. And build it out and onto the line, like so. Now I did dig into that low spot a little bit, but it's not too bad. and the main line will continue straight on nicely. Alright, so now what it wants us to do is buy a train with 4 freight cars that can transport the coffee fruit. So we're gonna start by building a line from, what are we calling this station over here? Semarang Coffee Plantation. And the processing plant is in Surabaya. So we're gonna do a little naming. We're gonna call it Semarang Coffee Fruit. And that just kind of gives us an idea of what is being transported on that line and where. So now that line is created, we're going to go into the train depot and we're going to buy a few vehicles. It wants us to buy a train with 4 freight cars which can transport the coffee fruit. So we have the D1/3, top speed of 25 miles per hour and 90 horsepower. Then we have the Borsig, which is top speed of 28 miles per hour and a power output of 122 horsepower. And then we have something else called tractive effort. That is basically like torque in cars. This is how much it can pull nicely along that track. And you can see with the D1/3, it is 4,496 pound-feet of torque. And then the Borsig is 5,620. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Borsig because that's going to allow us to pull those cars a little bit faster and a little bit less effortlessly. A little more words? A little more effortlessly. And now to take that coffee fruit, we want box cars. So we're going to want 4 box cars. That's what it's asked us to buy. So what we'll do, it's almost $1 million for this whole vehicle, and its top speed is mediocre. A 28 miles per hour flat, and a high grade top speed is 14 miles per hour. That's not great, but most of this is flat. So let's go ahead and buy that vehicle. And now we're going to set it on that line for the Semarang coffee fruit and let it do its thing. All right. Now we just gotta wait for it to do its first delivery. And here it is coming out of the depot. What a beautiful, shiny little train. It kind of reminds me of that one train from Thomas the Tank Engine. Can't think of it right now, but yeah, there's this one that it reminds me of for sure. Oh man, I can't get over how pretty this game is. Alright, I also noticed there are some separator tracks here. I think at some point we may make this line use 2 trains. Not 100% sure just yet, but let's go ahead and move on from there. Let's get these coffee fruit delivered. Go ahead and speed it up a little bit. Let's ride this train. Looks like there is some coffee fruit waiting for us in boxes. Let's grab it and turn around. It almost feels like a roller coaster in 4 times speed. It's pretty great. You can see our little depot off to the right. Pretty little depot. To come around the bend, we are approaching the station, and we should make a nice, tidy sum of cash. Excellent, $123,000. And we have completed that task. On to the next one. Colonial Counting Houses. What a superb railway. It provides the local plantation leaseholders with truly valuable services. Still fresh from the fields, the fruit quickly reaches the factory. From there, the colony's delightful coffee must be brought to the warehouses and offices in the port for export. That shouldn't be left up to the local laborers, no way. Too easygoing, too inefficient, too unreliable. Specially built stations are called for so that the first-rate coffee makes it into town undamaged. If need be, stations that can be guarded against plundering hordes. Build a truck stop in the highlighted areas, the factory, and the commercial area of the town. So here's one of them. We're going to go ahead and build that truck station. Just like so. And then another one down here. It wants us to build it right on top of this building, effectively tearing it down. But let's try to not tear down any other building in the process. We'll just replace that one. Excellent. And then they built a little coffee shop next to it. All right, ready to go. Nothing stands in the way of speedy transportation to the local seaport anymore. Send the freight cars of coffee on their way. Establish a route between the new stops and locate at least 4 appropriate vehicles to the route. All right, so let's build a line. We're gonna go from here to there. And it's gonna be Surabaya to Surabaya. So let's call this Surabaya Coffee Beans. Surabaya Coffee Beans. Excellent. And let's get ourselves a couple of vehicles. And with that said, I believe we need to buy a road depot in order to get some vehicles. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's place it right in the between the 2 stops, just in case you want to start it from either side. So go into here. Let's buy our vehicles. Whoa, we've got some pretty cool vehicles here. We have a steam-powered passenger vehicle. We have the European horse-drawn carriage that can take coffee fruit and coffee beans. The European covered horse-drawn carriage, which can take 5 of those. The other one can take 4. They have the same amount of horsepower. This one is slightly faster though. And then there's the flatbed that can also take the same things. There's really no difference between these two besides the way it looks. So let's go ahead and do the flatbed horse-drawn carriage. I want to see easily if the vehicle has items on it or not. So let's go ahead and buy, I don't know, did it say how many? At least 4. So let's buy 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's select those vehicles and set that line to the Surabaya Coffee Beans. Excellent. All right, now the tracks, we want to build this little in-between spot. And now we can build signals on either side. Excellent. If the plant is to be used to its fullest capacity, another complete train is needed. All right, so we'll need 4 freight cars more with another train. It's gonna be 4 more boxcars. We're gonna buy it, and then we're gonna place it on that coffee fruit line. All right. Wherever coffee production thrives, business and prosperity flourish too. Thanks to the railroad, the port town of Surabaya has become a lively trading center for countless goods and services. All kinds of people from all corners of the island want to do profitable business here. That's why the colonial administration has commissioned you with setting up a passenger line from Semarang to Surabaya. All right. Want to connect the two via a railway line. Now we have 2 trains running along these tracks. That's excellent. So $123,000 just from that one. Now it's not a perfect in-between spot for the 2 trains. As you'll see, one will come to a stop before the other gets there. But it will still be slightly more efficient than having only one train. One thing to note here is that it is important to have the train without cargo be the one that stops first. You don't want the train that is delivering cargo to have to stop for the train that is empty. So having it closer to the side of the delivering station is always going to be slightly more efficient than the other way around. Excellent. Now let's create ourselves a passenger station from Surabaya all the way to Semarang. and thinking about where we should go. There's kind of a lot of hills along the center of the island. However, although it may be deceiving, there's lots of flat space along the coastline heading into Semarang. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that. All right. So let's begin with building ourselves a passenger terminus station. Well, I'm thinking I might kick some of these people out, or actually, right there may work out quite nicely for us. Or should I put it over here to have potential access to that area? I don't know about that. Let's check and see the land use layer. And it looks like most of our residents are over on this side of town. So it may actually work out better for us if we put down a passenger terminus station in this corner. Make it a little bit shorter. And maybe have it come out from here. Just so everyone has easy access to this station. And we really only want to remove one building. So let's do it right there. So we are eating right into a hill, but that's okay. What we're going to do is take these tracks and try to get them to level out nicely. And we want the speed to be as high as possible through the curve. And for that curve to be as short as possible, to make that speed as nice as possible. You don't want to dig into the ground. So sometimes making a shorter bit of track for each area is going to help you out quite a bit. And you can see there is this nice pathway for us right along the coast. So I'm going to go ahead and try and follow that as best as I can. We are going to dig into the ground a little bit, and it shouldn't cost us too much more money, as long as we try and follow this contour as best as we possibly can. That's okay, we're building up the land a little bit around tracks. It's not unheard of. And we'll see this contour line here. It will feel nice and natural as we head along the coast. We will have to remove some flora, some trees to make it through, but that is going to be totally okay. Okay, I'm gonna take a nice little turn around this little hill or mountain. We want to make this turn as easy as possible to keep the speed as nice as possible. So we will have to build the tracks up a little bit. That's okay. And we'll keep things nice and straight here. Maybe curve it in a little bit. Excellent. Now let's start figuring out where we want this station to be, because there's a small chance I think we may end up putting it over in this area here. Yeah, it looks like we have some large residential buildings on this side of town. So I might actually make a little turn here in this area to get it to line up over here. So let's go ahead and build that passenger terminus station. Oh, but I do notice that there are some spaces over here and where they want some sugarcane. So maybe what we do is we build the station right here to be able to access a lot of the city. Right? If we turn this off, what can we access here? That's a lot of the city that we can access if we put the terminus station here. So let's go ahead and do that right now. We're gonna take down a couple of buildings, but that's okay because seems like we may use this for sugar, because the sugar cane is needed over here and the passengers are over here. So I may build myself a little depot. I'll go ahead and do that now, actually. A little cargo building. Maybe on this side. Oh shoot, I was gonna build it on that side. Let's go ahead and build the cargo platform. Excellent. Maybe the cargo building. Oh, can't build it there. So what we can do is we can actually get out of this and kick that guy out of his house and kick these people out as well. It's gonna cost us a bit of money, but that's okay. They will rebuild. So now we're gonna build ourselves a little cargo platform. That will allow us to deliver both cargo and passengers to this station. And that'll make us happy. So we have built this track maybe a little too early over here. So let's go ahead and take a couple of these sections out. That's totally okay to take sections out. We can always rebuild. Again, we want the speed to be as fast as possible through each curve. And then we want to find ourselves with a nice curve here. Nice. Oh, too much slope, it would seem. Oh yeah, would you look at that? That is quite the slope. We didn't use our curvature or contour lines as effectively as we could have. So let's go back in here. Let's build from this direction. Let's dig into that land just a little bit. Let's get rid of that. And then build these tracks into the station. That should be mostly level. And we'll make our trains happy. All right. That is our beginning line there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the thing that happened over there. So that way we can transport both cargo and passengers at the same time. Where do we want to do that? Let's survey here. All right, so maybe I'm thinking right along here. And let's make it as even as possible so the trains can really not lose much speed when they make that transfer. Ooh, too much curvature there. Okay, it doesn't like us to do that in that spot. Interesting. Okay, so right here will be just fine. Excellent. So now we'll connect these two pieces and we'll have essentially the same little stopping spot that we have on the other side. Same thing, we'll put our signals going this way over on that side, and a signal going this way over on that side. That way the trains will stop between the two stations. Right now it's not entirely necessary because we don't have a train station over there, but we are set up to receive cargo on that side. So when we're ready to do that, it will be able to. All right, mysterious monuments. Formidable enterprise like yours calls for a suitably first-rate branch office. After all, you're not just anybody. Build a headquarters. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. How do we do that? We want to, I think it's in here? No, maybe not. I think it's in here. Yes, okay. Headquarters. We want to build one. Now, where do we want to build one? Do we want to be in Semarang? I think we do. Okay. A truly attractive estate. Really now? It is? If you say so. So what I want to do actually is I want to go ahead and create this cargo building ahead of time. Cargo terminus station will do just fine. And place it right over here so it's ready to go. I'm thinking kind of angled a little bit will do us just fine. Okay. Now we can build the tracks. Going in here. Excellent. We can build ourselves some signals. Great. Now what we can do, we need to build ourselves a depot. So let's go ahead and build a train depot. Let's put it kind of up here on this hill. Maybe next to the hill. Make that track as easy as possible for us to build. Great. Now, we need to build, or rather create, our line for the passengers. You can select that over there, and this will be Semarang to Surabaya. All right. That line is being created. Let's also go ahead and create this sugar. And drop it off over there. Ooh. Excellent. All right. Coffee got delivered, and I am snake free. Let's rename this line to Semarang Coffee. Oh, not coffee. This is sugarcane. Excellent. All right, that line is now available, but let's go ahead and start with our passengers. We want a Borsig. Then let's do, I don't know, 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, not 2 of them. Let's go ahead and sell that one that we sold by accident, that we bought by accident. Let's set this one up for our Semarang to Surabaya. And let's also buy a train for some sugar. I believe it's going to be a gondola. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's buy that. Oh, can't do it just yet. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Time to start delivering passengers before we can start delivering sugarcane. Get to see the beautiful coastline along this train route. Could we have gone through the middle? Sure, but there's quite a lot more hilly. Wanted to avoid that as much as possible. We've got some people on board. All right. I'll go ahead and wait for that to deliver all those people. See ya in just a few minutes.
Keep it on repeat, justify the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly, just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlight.
All right. Uh-oh, it's rumbling in the island's interior. The mighty volcano Merapi threatens to erupt. A phenomenon like this wasn't reckoned with while planning the route. The natives claim that someone has probably angered one of the gods. Whatever the case, if the precious coffee fruit is supposed to be transported by rail in the future too, then it's imperative that something is done. Removing the route. It seems worthwhile to remove the infrastructure if it's not supposed to be buried under ashes and lava. Send the trains to the depot and remove the stop at the coffee plantation from the route. Okay. So we'll send both of these trains to the depot. And we'll remove that part of the route. then rebuild outside of those areas. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is we'll have to come in here, build a new cargo terminus station, and build it into these trees here, and take the tracks, follow the contour line as best as possible. Excellent. We want it to take a nice curve around this hill. Keep as much speed as possible. Keep going through this valley. Excellent. Now we just want to connect it back up with the other tracks. It's going to take a little bit of a curve, but that is totally okay in that spot. Alright, now we're going to reestablish that route. And this is going to be Surabaya coffee. Nope, this is going to be Semarang coffee fruit. We're going to select this new station here. And we're going to tell those trains that they can continue on that. Bonus task. The fertile island has a lot more to offer than coffee. The widow of a friendly grower, may the poor devil rest in peace, has been planting sugarcane lately. Make the lady happy by providing her with your services. Alright, now is our opportunity to buy a borsig, along with a gondola. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gondolas, and we are going to put that on that line that we conveniently created earlier, the Semarang sugarcane line. Now, we have the tools necessary to get that delivered. And our train should be able to flow nicely. Excellent. No sugarcane there yet, so let's go ahead and reverse this train, because then it will be ready to pick up some sugar, which is already conveniently arriving at the station. Now we will probably have to wait for this train to pass the next stop. It should be pretty quick.
2 hours later.
In fact, let's actually use this moment to turn it back around to pick up even more sugar. Let's think about adding another way stop over on this side, so these trains can continuously avoid each other while using as little money and resources as possible. Build a signal on this side here, and a signal on this side here. Excellent, so that train will have to stop over there. He's waiting patiently. Whoa! They get a little close to each other, but that's okay. It is a game after all. And we will be delivering our first sugar. Boom. And we have completed our other route as well. So that is mission number 2 of chapter 1 completed. Excellent. Thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate you coming along for the ride. I'm King Big Dip. If you liked this video, please leave a like on it. And if you disliked it, let me know in the comments what I should do differently. Until next time, I'm King Big Dip. I'll see you later. Stay steezy, my friends. Peace out. And don't forget to subscribe.